Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're doing another Fate Reforged Swiss draft. Great rare here. I've played against it. Haven't gotten a chance to play with it yet, but I want to. I mean, it makes a bunch of dudes. Repeatable dude making. Very good card. Unfortunately, there's other good white cards in here in Sandstep Outcast and Valorous Stance, which is certainly going to motivate somebody to want to move into white. But Master of the Unseen strikes me as a card that's pretty splashable, actually. I mean, well, I guess that's tough to say. You want at least a couple white because you want to be able to manifest multiple times per turn. But at the same time, having 8 mana, I guess it happens in this format more often than not. Well, I don't know. Regardless, I'm taking it. I think it's just unfortunate that we're passing two, other good white cards, and that those cards are like some of the best remaining in the pack too. Sure Shot and Hunt the Weak are certainly high picks. But yeah, all right. We're still taking Master of the Unseen. I'm not going to pass it. Pass the foil supplant form. Well, this will be my second foil supplant form, which is funny enough. I could take the Bathe in Dragonfire and stay more open, but supplant form is an amazing card, even though I botched it that one time. But it's still an amazing card. Limits me to Jeskai now if I take this, and I plan to play both of them, but maybe I ditch one of them. Since it's a foil rare, it looks like someone just took the actual rare in the pack over it, but I would say we're given a gift with the supplant form. It's a pretty amazing card, so happily take it here. Even though Bathe in Dragonfire is a great card too, and would leave me more open, I'd rather have the more powerful rare effect of supplant form. Okay, so choices here are, well, another rare, huh? Wild Call, manifest the top card of your library, then put X +1/+1 counters on. This is a great card. Why isn't someone taking this? Just back-to-back-to-back rares. Fortunately, Bant is not an archetype. I could just take the Wild Call and ditch either the supplant form or the Master of the Unseen. Try to make Bant work, which I'm not thrilled about. Go green, blue base, splash white, which might work. Or take the Jeskai Sage and try and pursue a Jeskai deck. I'm going to take the Wild Call and see where it takes us. We'll see what's open. Wild Call is a great card. Okay. What do we got here? So we have Map the Wastes, which makes our splash for mastery easier. Cache Defenses, which might be the pick. Merciless Executioner, which is yet another color. Abzan Sky Captain, which is fine. Keep in mind, Supplant Form is not a very splashable card. Maybe I just want the Cache Defenses. That's a pretty strong card. You got a 2-drop into Cache Defenses, they got a problem. I may just want that. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable taking that. I like the green-blue base more than the blue-white base. I do want to play the Master of the Unseen, and Map the Waste would help me splash for it, but whatever. Okay, take a Map the Waste now. There is a right into Being, though, which is quite good. And a Soul Summons, but I still think I'd rather stick to the green-blue base. I mean, I guess Master of the Unseen and Wild Call are different enough where it's tough to say which one's better. I mean, this gives you a one-time huge dude, whereas this over time, slowly but surely gives you little dudes, but also helps preserve you because when you put dudes face up, you gain 1 life. That's pretty strong, actually. 1 life. It's not like 1 life per creature. It's 1 life for each creature you control. Yeah, it's pretty good. Maybe we play Bant. Who knows? Let's try Bant out. See how that goes. Never done that. Actually, I did do it once, and I think it was a video I didn't end up posting. Or maybe I did end up posting it. I can't remember. But for now, we'll take the right into Being, which I think I do like more than Soul Summons. Okay, Ethereal Ambush. More dudes. Kind of like the Honors Reward. I think I want the Honors Reward. I like Ambush too, but Maybe I want to play Bant. Is that wrong? I don't know. I've never done it. I mean, the punishment for playing Bant is going to be no multicolor cards, which are certainly strong. So maybe, maybe I do Bant and splash a fourth color to allow for some three-color combination stuff. Might not be right, but I want this honors reward anyway, so I'm going to take it. Two-color deck is probably the wisest unless I end up with some pretty solid fixing here. All right, Hunt the Week's a great card. It's a pretty strong green card too. I think I'm just going to take that here. Maybe I go green-white beats. I did see something on the Pro Tour. Somebody rocking a sweet-looking green-white beats deck. But the two blue cards I have currently are pretty good. So I'm not sure. Like I said, there's punishment for playing these three colors. I'm going to miss out on some stuff. But I have some powerful spells in these three colors already, which makes me want to do it. Archers are pretty underwhelming, but they feel more exciting than the Skull Keeper. They're both pretty bad. I'll take the Skull Keeper in case I end up with like a Hooting Mandrills or something. Could see that being good. Okay, Hunt the Week number 2 seems fine to me. A late Gurmag Angler, which is also good. It could be we're supposed to be moving into Sultai. I guess we'll see how the next pack goes, but this is a really late Hunt the Week, which is actually a really good card, I think. I think people probably think less of this card than I do for the most part, but that's okay. I get that a lot, so no problems. Reality Shift is acceptable. Not the best card. Better sideboard card is like an out to anything, but we've got some pretty good removal already. I think better than Reality Shift for the most part. Reality Shift's one of those cards that could be potentially really good, but probably more likely out of sideboard. Let's take the Feral Crew Shock, which is just a good card to manifest into and a good Hunt the Week target. Fruit of the First Tree. Yeah, this card's alright. I think we'll just take the Thornwood Falls, though. Feels like a pretty good opportunity. What's this rune mark give? It gives Trample. Yeah, it's not bad. Probably just take the Enhanced Awareness, get some nice card draw going. Pilgrim of the Fires. I still like that card, but not as much as card draw. Alright, so Sage's Reverie. Auras we currently have are non-existent, I guess. So, guess we'll take the Ambush Crotique, which is good with Hunt the Week, but white or black permanent. Neither of these cards are particularly good for us. I guess I'll just take the foil. Last pick red. All right, maybe we're supposed to be in Teamer if we're getting last pick red picks. Am I going to have to ditch Master of the Unseen and Honors Reward? There's a decent chance. Then we open a foil. Oh my god, I have to look up values. This is ridiculous. Okay, a foil Clever Impersonator is worth 12 tickets. A Wingmate Rock is worth 7 tickets. The Wingmate Rock is like so good. So good. Clever Impersonator is a good card too. It's 5 tickets more too. It's like, oh my god, why didn't I just open this pack? Actually, I'm happier I opened this in draft, but yeah, this is a money pack. Somebody's just going to be so happy I passed them. They'd be happy either way. Somebody would be happy either way, but somebody's going to be just getting a 12-ticket payload here while I take a card that's just insanely good in draft and in general. I'm giving up 5 tickets to take a card that's better in limited, and it keeps me in Bant too, which is really funny. But I'm going to, what can I say? I'm staying in Bant. That's just the way it is. Mandrills here seems probably correct. Wind Scout is fine. Now we're starting to get deeper white though, so I'd almost like to minimize blue. Let's start focusing on green white, I think. Yeah, I think I want to focus on green white. And then we'll splash blue, although that's going to make supplant form difficult to play. Well, I could do green, white. I could do Abzan. We were seeing some late black. Maybe I cut the blue. We do have 3 pretty good blue picks, but we just got Wingmate Rock, for God's sake. So maybe I move into Jeskai, or that's not right. Abzan, rather. Like, that's a great Abzan card. All right. Maybe I duck out of blue. I don't have to yet, but I'm just sort of seeing where I'm at with this green-white at the moment. Like, I can take Armament Core here, which I think is just the strongest card in the pack. Hope to Wheel like an Highland Game or an Einok Bond can. All right, I might do that, actually. Armament Core is pretty great. There is a Scoured Barrens, but there's no reason to take that until we actually have cards worthy of playing. Let's take the best card in this pack, which I do think is Armament Core. Okay, probably this Citadel over anything. I'd like the Bondkin or the Throttle, but let's just take Citadel and start making this deck come together, because it's about time this deck does come together. All right. Could take Fixing number 2 here. Roar of Challenge is a great spell. Let's take the Fixing for black, though. I think that's going to work better for us. Skull Hunter, not that great on the splash. And Bloodsucker, also not that great on the splash. There's a pretty decent, no, we ditch blue, so that's not going to work. Roar of Challenge and Awaken the Bear are the only, I think it's a pretty easy outpost pick, actually. We're really not giving up that much for it. All right, Feat of Resistance is fantastic, so guess we'll take that. We do actually, I guess, have a Thornwood Falls if we wanted to splash blue, but we can't really splash Supplant Form, and the other 2 we have really aren't worthy of splashing, I don't think. Let's just take the Feat of Resistance here, which is just a great card in general. Good protection for Wingmate Rock, so certainly something we want. I think we just want the Roadblock of Salt Road Patrol, which doubles as a good card with Hunt the Weak. But yeah, we want roadblocks for sure. We gotta survive long enough to win with our Wingmate Rock. I don't have a problem with Jeskai Student. I really don't like it that much in this deck, but we're desperately hunting for 2-drop creatures that buy us time. And it's actually very good with Hunt the Weak, so that's a pretty good argument for Student in this deck, I think. You know, it's actually really good with Cash Defenses, too. Turn it into a 5/7 temporarily. And then 4/6 every turn after that, which is still a very good body. It's good with Honor's Reward, too. This is an interesting deck. Pass somebody the lotto ticket with that 12-ticket mythic foil, and we just settled for a double mythic pack, and both of the mythics worth a ton. Admittedly, Clever Impersonator's not worth that much unless it's a foil, but when it's a foil, it's like it looked like it was like a ×4 or ×6 what the price is, something crazy like that. That was definitely a lottery ticket pack, though. You know, Wild Call, what's kind of funny is Wild Call is not even that good to manifest into a Wingmate Rock or an Armament Core, but I'm still not going to complain about them. None of these cards matter. I guess I'll take the Feed the Clan. Maybe it's a sideboard option against Omega Aggro if I don't end up with enough early game. I mean, we are a creature light at the moment. Wild Call counts as a creature, so it's like 8 creatures currently. We're definitely going to have to find some creatures out of pack 3. I do like that we got the nice fixing of Sandstep Citadel. It's going to help with Armament Core, but we're desperately on the hunt for some reasons to be an Abzan. Otherwise, besides Armament Core, I mean, Armament Core is worthy of a splash regardless. I guess we'll take the... God, Cavalry's so bad, but I don't need any of these. All right, taking it anyway. Quite the deck. Ambush Croteek's going to be real bad in here if we don't end up with some actual creatures. I mean, I guess you can play it by yourself. Table of Highland Game's fantastic news. That's like exactly what our deck needs. Cheap creature, trades early, gains us life. It really is everything I need this deck to eventually come into. Excited to try out Master of the Unseen. Kind of sad that we don't have any morphs uh, or other or a lot of manifests besides itself. I mean, it works well with itself, but having morph with that ability would be substantially better. Defiant Strike, not really a card I need, but we'll cut white. So we're desperately just hunting for good white and green cards. And then any good Abzan, cards that we need to splash for, I'll be open to that. Well, ordinarily I would say Sidisi's Pet's a pretty awful splash, but that would be discounting the fact that we have Cash Defenses, Honors Reward, and Double Hunt a Week, and Armament Core. So we actually have pretty phenomenal cards with Sidisi's Pet. And at worst, it's a Gray Ogre, which not that good, but at best, pretty good card actually, since it even interacts well with Mastery of the Unseen, gaining us life when we flip it up. Sidisi's Pet actually kind of appealing for this deck, even on the splash, oddly enough. That's pretty rare. I guess one nice thing about Wild Call is how good it is, and I didn't mention this, but how good it is early and late. That is actually a really good argument for Wild Call of why it's such a great card. Because you pay it for 3 mana and you have a 3/3. You pay it for 8 mana, you've got a 8/8. It's really good. Okay, we're on to the last pack. I think we're probably just going to splash for Murderous Cut. I'd be surprised if there was something better than that. Nope. Murderous Cut it is. Excellent removal spell, which we're not necessarily light on. We have a couple of Hunt the Weeks and, a couple combat tricks. Feat of Resistance, Honors Reward. I'd love some more Outlast guys to interact with all of these bolster effects, which are made for Abzan. But yeah, let's easily take Murderous Cut here, which is just the best card. Even on the splash, absolutely. Well, I guess Bellowing Saddlebrute's pretty awesome on the splash, too. It's really nothing else for us. Long Shot Squad does give our guys reach, and we have enough ways to do that. Saddlebrute is, I would say, infinitely better than Long Shot Squad, but Long Shot Squad's going to be easier to cast for us. It leaves me light in the black department, which I kind of would like to be. Only a couple pieces of black fixing at the moment. So like I said, Saddlebrute's a better card. Longshot Squad is easier to cast, more synergistic with the deck. Maybe I just do the easier, more synergistic with the deck pick. I feel like we're not very offensive too, which makes the raid a little bit more difficult to play. Alright, I'm taking a worse card because it's less intensive on our mana base and has better synergy with our deck. Whether or not that's right remains to be seen. We shall find out. Abzan Battle Priest. I think could not ask for a better card for our deck since it does exactly everything I want it to. It gains us life and lets our other guys that have counters on them gain life for us. So all of that is amazing. Another Feat of Resistance would be a welcome addition to this deck, but certainly not going to pass up the Outlast value addition to this deck. This is definitely an 18-land deck. We have very powerful cards in here at this point. I guess it's mostly the Wingmate Rock that's making this deck very powerful, but that's not true. I guess Master of the Unseen, also quite good. Played against it, thought it did a great job of prolonging the game. Our removal is not bad. Double Hunt the Week, Murderous Cut, Tricks, Feat of Resistance, Honors Reward, very nice. I would like some more cheap creatures to take full advantage of this Cash Defenses, Honors Reward, but if we can't do it, so be it. They're still good on turn 4 after like a Morph or a Wild Call or something. Starting to get a little bit 4-drop heavy, so I'd like to lower our curve if at all possible. Watcher of the Roost is a pretty fantastic card. I like it more than the Hate Blade here. Yeah, I think we're just taking Watcher. It's a great card. I like it quite a bit. We seem like we've got enough white to probably support it, and it gains life and evades, which is going to be amazing with Cash Defenses and Honors Reward, so gotta do it. Currently rocking a good amount of cards that gain life. Mastery, Honors Reward, Watcher, Abzan Battle Priest. That's a lot of life gain. Wingmate Rock. How could I forget Wingmate Rock? A lot of life gain in this deck. Very cool looking. Okay. Maybe we miss on this one. I mean, Abomination is an option because I have Thornwood Falls, but that seems pretty greedy. Greedy and unnecessary. Maybe I just take Windstorm for sideboard. It's a nice out against flyers. I don't like taking a sideboard card when I still need playables, but I guess if worse comes to worse, I can play Defiant Strike. And I guess Firehoof Cavalry, but God, I hope it doesn't come to that. We still got some picks left, though, so let's just take the Windstorm, which is an actual good sideboard card. Good option to have against the Skies decks. And it's good against our Wingmate Rock, so I don't want to play against it, but it's definitely a nice tool to have. With, you know, the Sandstep Outcasts and the Jeskai Wind Scouts, Sultai Scavengers, all that stuff. Currently rocking 13 creatures with the Wild Call, which is pretty light. Do I want to splash blue? Become 4-color? Really don't. Guess we take the Dragon Scale Boon. Could take the Awaken the Bear, but Boon's got better synergies with the deck, so it makes more sense to me. Alright, I want at least 2 more creatures. I mean, I could get away with one more running 14 creatures, but I would like at least a couple more. I want to lower the curve of this deck too, but I'm not sure we're going to get that opportunity. Yeah, that's tough. We're definitely competing. Jeez. I don't need any of this. Just missing, which is problematic. Second Dragon Scale Boon, it's so 4-drop heavy. I mean, we're running 18 lands, but we're not really running enough creatures to support this. Sidisi's Pet's funny because it's like insane in this deck. I don't know. I guess I take a boon. I don't know. Alright, got Hateblade. Taking it, playing it. No problems there. Pretty happily taking it and playing it. Pet number 2, perhaps, at this point. Cut another non-creature spell for it or something. Like I said, I don't really like Ambush Critique that much in this deck, but it's probably fine as our top end if we're playing 18 lands, which we are. We saw no fixing out of pack 3 too, which is unfortunate. Currently I have 14 creatures. Maybe I'll just take the pet in case I think it's cute enough to play. Dreadmaw, I guess, is playable, not terribly exciting. Valley Dasher, I guess we'll just hate it in case someone's hyper aggro. Trumpet Blast, actually, we look defensive enough where Brave the Sands could be good. Swiftwing, not that good on the splash. Alright, so good news and bad news about this deck. First and foremost, good news. We got Wingmate Rock. It's worth 7 tickets. It's probably the most insane card you could get in a Cons of Tarkir limited draft, I would think. Even with the addition of Fate Reforged, I suspect that Wingmate Rock is still the nuttiest mythic to get. Bad news about this deck. We came close to not having enough playables. We potentially aren't defensive enough, but that might not be true. Hateblade is going to be difficult to get the Death Touch for the most part, but it's still definitely a welcome addition in this deck with the Honor's Reward and the cash defenses, so no issues there. And finally, the bad news about our deck, our fixing is pretty atrocious. We got 2 lands, which is not great. Thankfully, we're pretty light in the black department, so we're not too worried about our mana, I guess, for the most part. It's just to give Death Touch here, to flip this guy, to cast Armament Core and Murderous Cut. So probably going to need 4 black sources, I think. If I could get away with 5, maybe I do it, but that seems a bit excessive. I think 4 is likely the right number since it's really like 2 actual cards that straight up require black. Yeah, I think we're going to try and get away with 4 swamps in this deck. They say 3, but I'm not going to do that. So this would be, what would this be? 8 sources of green and 8 sources of white and 4 sources of black. That's probably correct. We need double green early for wild call potential and double white in mid game for wingmate rock. So 8-8. We look like we're a pretty even split. Did not end up with that many morph guys, but that's not the main focus, the focal point of this deck anyway. So not really concerned about that. I mean, technically, Wild Call can just be played as a 2-mana 2/2. So Wild Call is legitimately a great card. Just a very versatile, any point in the game, very good card. Like, if I had a hand with a couple forests, a Wild Call, and like a Cash Defenses, I'd probably just play it on turn 2 and try and beat in with a 5/5 on turn 3, because that's pretty big. But, wait, we're still short? Oh, I forgot to put one more land in. All right. 4, 5, 6, 7... 8, 3, 6, 8, 4 black. So I could have 5 sources of black. Is that excessive? It might be, but I certainly want to see black. For Hate Blade, Pet Flips. Pet Flip in this deck is pretty insane. Like, I'm trying to think if there's a card I want to cut for a second pet, but that might be excessive. I could probably cut Salt Road Patrol. What if I cut Salt Road Patrol, bring in a second pet, and then add another swamp? So I have 5 sources of black, double pet with Double Hunt the Weak, Dragon Scale Boon, Honor's Reward, Cash Defenses, which admittedly is a little more difficult to get the Honor's Reward and Cash Defenses on your Sidisi's pet. But if they're the only creature, it totally works. Feat of Resistance, Armament Core, just all of these things that buff it up. It's better for our curve. Our curve looks really nice like this. We'll see. I kind of have a good feeling about double pet in this deck, but they could turn out to be bad. 1/4 lifelink is just very good, I think. I think Pet's one of those cards that got better with Fate Reforged, just because it is a really nice body to have in an aggro match. They tend to have a harder time dealing with a 1/4 lifelink than you might think, and being able to get away with 5 sources of, or justifying 5 sources of black a little bit better in this deck, because I do legitimately think Sidisi's Pet. This is a good deck for Sidisi's Pet. So having more flip cards too is just going to be better with Master of the Unseen, as I wildly try and justify it more and more. Okay, I'm going to play the deck like this. I like this deck. It looks very nice. 14 creatures total with the Wild Call. Master of the Unseen, you can kind of count as a creature. It turns other cards in your deck into creatures, so certainly it feels like there's enough creatures to play in this deck. And actually, I guess Ambush Crotique works reasonably well with Master of the Unseen if you flips like a spell you want to play, like Murderous Cut. Or even if you flip a Wingmate Rock, maybe it's better to play the Crotique, bounce your Wingmate Rock, and actually play your Wingmate Rock for full value where you get the double birds. I don't know. Something that could come up. Regardless, I'm pretty satisfied with this deck. Even if we get, manhandled, we got a Wingmate Rock, so we didn't lose out that bad. So I really, overall, I just think this is a pretty solid deck, and I'm excited to play it. All right, so we'll see you in round 1, running it like this.